Okay, here we go. We're going caching. I'm going to assume the dogs are not visible. Wait, there's one, maybe. There's another puppy in the car. When I wasn't a dog owner or a dog human, I remember people getting excited about other dogs. They go, "Oh, it's a puppy! Oh, it's a dog!" Um, Especially when people would get excited about dogs that were of a breed similar to their dog's breed. And I never quite understood it. I was like, that seems a bit weird. It's just a dog, like whatever. And I even remember as a youngster saying to somebody, "Oh no, if I had dogs, they'd sleep outside because they're dogs." Whereas now that I have dogs, and I have a breed half Jack Russell, half Fox Terrier, but very much Jack Russells, I see other Jack Russells and other dogs, and I'm like, "Oh, Jack Russell," or "Oh, another dog." Um, Fox Terriers don't remind me of my dogs, but Jack Russells definitely remind me of my dogs. So I get excited when I see Jack Russells, but I get excited when I see any dog now, more so than I used to. And I'm sitting at home at the moment, fairly down, in fact, today, not feeling the greatest. And I have realised that I needed to do something, needed to get out. And because I still have enough of the cheap petrol in the car and in the jerry cans, I've decided to go caching with the dogs. And I found a couple. Okay. So, we are. So I'm just checking the map, and we've come to the wrong spot. But the reason we've come to the wrong spot is that there was is a cache near here that I was looking at earlier, and I've looked at the Google Maps and I've said that's where I'm going, and I've gone there, and so that's where we are. So we need to try and work out how to get into the Bush Reserve. I always judge a trip as successful by how many U-turns I do. So I just did U-turn number 2 because we drove along the road way too far out. Oh, pardon me. And so yeah, it's somewhat confusing, the map. There's no sort of clear entrance to this reserve area. I'm sure it'll be much more obvious when I get there. But I'm literally going to go back to the first spot that I stopped at, where I realised I was heading to the wrong cache, and try from there. Try a slightly different way from there. And I assume I can park here. Does that say no dogs? Definitely says no horses. Yeah. I'm going to go check and I'll be back. We'll have to see. We might have to just go to the other one. So yep, it is a no dogs park. So we're not going in, unfortunately. I have a sort of a policy where if I go caching with people or with friends, I'll go to a no dog place without the dogs, because at least then I'm hanging out with friends. But if I were to, I just don't want to leave the dogs in there or in the car whilst I go into that park and try and find a cache. It's not worth it. Okay. We are we're at. Anyway, shut up, Doctor. And, okay, we're going to get out. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Oh, shush. Ah. Go. Okay, come back. It is this way. So this is a series of caches that we're trying to find today. This is a Dog's Tale number 41, which is a cache all about dog parks and dog things and stuff like that. A series that will not only introduce you to some of the dog parks around the Mornington Peninsula, but we will also be sharing some fun facts about informations. 200 milliliter container hidden in a usual way. While you should be pretty well hidden by trees, muggles can appear from any direction, anytime, so stealth would definitely be required. Okay, well, I'm going to find it off camera, and okay. We found it. It was very easy to find. And this is it. There's a bunch of textures and hair clips and stuff in here. But what I'm looking for is this thing, which is a logbook. Purchased from geostuff.com.au, which is a caching website that I've actually gone to before. Now the problem is, you meant to sign the log. I don't think I brought a pen. No, I have not. So, I may have to come back and sign it, or I may just not care. One of the things I like about geocaching is that it's all about you, and there's people who fake how many caches they've found, and those people are only hurting themselves, because it's only the amount of caches you found is only for you and whether you found them or not. So I know that I found this cache. I've had a lovely day of taking my dogs to the park. We've had a walk around, we've had a drive around. It's been good fun. I don't care if anyone says I found this cache or not, by whether I've signed the logbook or not. So to me, it doesn't matter if I sign the logbook, but I do like the idea of doing it if I'd brought a pen. I need to remember to bring a pen next time. But anyway, I'm going to put it back, and we're going to go for a bit more of a walk back to the car and maybe move on to the next one. Okay. Driving around the suburbs again. Yet again, coming to different and interesting dog parks and wonderfully varied architecture. It's fantastic. There is another tiny dog here, which will be interesting. It looks like it's a very cute little Jack Russell of type, all sorts. So we'll see how my bitches go. So the other puppy came over and wanted to talk to us and wanted to be friends, but of course we had a yell and a bark at that dog, which was a bit rude in my opinion. It looks like the other dog may have left its ball. Uh-oh. There is a big dog over there, which Asher and Doctor definitely don't like, even though that dog looks like it's absolutely lovely. But we're in the trees here where I think the cache is, so we'll find that, or look at finding that for now, instead of worrying about not aggressive dogs, because my two are the aggressive ones, unfortunately, but pleasant dogs who we're going to annoy and frustrate, which we don't want to do. Well, I don't want to do. They do. I don't want them. So there's a lot of dogs here in comparison, and they've all got humans with them, which is great. And we're getting some good dog interactions. In fact, we just had a nose-to-nose sniff with a dog before, which was fantastic. Doctor's much better at dealing with dogs than Asher is, but she still gets angry at them and stuff. But this dog came over. It's King Charles Spaniel or something. Not a Cocker Spaniel, but like one of the other ones. Real bulky, blocky body. Good for cuddles. And so we had a really good interaction because this dog came over very calmly and stuff. And so Doctor was able to have a sniff nose to nose, like literally right nose to nose. It was great. So I've checked out the hint. I've checked out everything I need to. I've looked at a few logs. Some people haven't found it, some people have found it. I saw a picture where some people who had found it were showing a picture of the cache, which is always good. So I know exactly what type of cache I'm looking for. And I'm having no luck. It said chest high in the hint because I've used the hint. But I assume that's slightly lower than my chest. So yeah. Oh, it said tea tree. So I'm looking in the wrong trees. They're not tea trees. I have to stop because there's a husky coming. Not because huskies are dangerous, but because a husky might come running over with enthusiasm, and my two might not understand that. So we'll just be a little bit wary and stop caching, or stop looking for caches just for. Well, unfortunately, I feel like I've checked every single one of the places that the hint and the log and everything have suggested. Well, pretty much all the trees behind me here, and I'm giving up. The fun thing about caching is that, much like hiking and camping and all that kind of stuff, is that even though if you don't have success in the way that you think or you plan to have success, it's still a perfectly fun adventure. And the cool thing is today we got a cache and we got one did not find. And that's fine. We'll just have to come back to this park. All the dogs that have been here, we met a big husky, we met a little King Charles, lots of dogs. We had a bark and a growl at some dogs. It's been a very enjoyable time to sit here at the park whilst Muggles walked past, and then I quickly jump up, go touch all the trees, and then come walk and sit back down again. I'm like an absolute weirdo creep. Apparently they've got a Facebook group for this park, and I feel like I would be surprised if I got mentioned on the Facebook group. Some weirdo was touching trees again. I don't know what they're doing at that end of the park. But anyway, this has been a very fun and enjoyable day because I enjoy just coming out and